Grab your glasses, everybody. It's time for a Moonshine Safari. Welcome to Moonshine Safari, everybody. I'm Josh.
I'm Dinah.
Hey, and this is episode 19.
Wow.
Welcome to episode 19.
It's exciting.
We have a lot to do.
It's November.
It is, and we have a lot to do, so we're going to jump right the frick in.
Sounds
okay?
good.
We got a lot of shout outs to give out today, okay? And we want to thank everybody who's been listening and liking and subscribing and all that. We want just to continue that, please. That would be wonderful, and will help you because you'll be able to keep up with our story and whatever, all the fun things that are going on and all the drinks and everything that we're putting. But what we would like to do, number one, is I like to give a shout out to Dinah. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Dinah, yeah. For a couple of things, actually. Well, like all the things other than being the best wife ever.
Please.
If you follow us on Instagram or any of those, you're going to notice like on a daily basis, you're going to see these wonderful, beautiful little pop-up things from Moonshine Safari, and they have these cool trivia things about what happened on this day and what the day is. It could be like Donut Day, National Donut Day, or National Pizza Day, or Kiss My Butt Day, or whatever day it is.
I'm sure they have one of those.
Right? Dinah is putting those together every day. So if you want to know if you're doing any kind of marketing or anything and you like to do that, or you just find that fun, you know what? Subscribe to us. Check out our Instagram page or any of that Pinterest and all that fun stuff that we got going on. And you can see these. These are made and designed by Dinah. So I would
Actually,
like to give
I
a
typically
shout out.
post them completely on Instagram. I might reference them on Twitter and stuff like that, but I usually post them on Instagram. So
Okay.
check them out there. And then, yeah, hope you like them.
All right. Excellent. Another shout out for, well, we'll come back to her second shout out coming up in a little bit. We'd also like to give a shout out to Saba's Mediterranean Kitchen.
Amazing.
We had dinner there this week, this Saturday evening, and of course, what can I say? If you haven't,
never disappointing.
oh my gosh, if you have never eaten at Saba's, you need to go. It is amazing. Now, unfortunately, they're not open on Sundays, but Monday through Saturday, go and please partake. Their food is amazing, and the service is amazing. And I have nothing bad to say other than there's not a location closer to me.
Yeah, we think you should move to the East Valley, basically.
Right,
but
George? Hey, Chef George, I know you're well, you're probably not listening, but if you happen to listen, we will really, really would love, and we would
there
support.
are a lot of places around here.
Oh my goodness, it would be a perfect place to be. Anyway, so shout out to Saba's Mediterranean Kitchen. Also, we would like to give a shout out to Dinah's sister, who is actually having a birthday tomorrow.
Yes,
So
she is.
we would give a shout out to her. So happy birthday, sis-in-law. We hope your day is wonderful and great tomorrow, and we appreciate that also. And then coming up, we're going to talk about this a little bit about the music stuff, is I'm going to give a shout out to my dad. My dad, actually, tomorrow is the 13th year since he's gone. And so in memorial of him, and we're going to talk about music, is I've been writing a song, and we'll talk about that a little
And it
bit
turned
later.
out fantastic.
We'll
just so
see,
you're
and
aware.
then we're thinking about maybe posting it, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Also, we'd like to give a shout out. Here's Dinah's second shout out. Wednesday is Dinah's birthday, so happy birthday, babe.
Thanks.
I love you.
And actually, Saba's was my birthday dinner.
It
so.
was so. But happy birthday to Dinah. We're not going to tell you how young she is, but I'll just tell you, she looks 10 to 15 years younger than me.
That is so not true.
That is so true. That is so true. I'm just telling you. And she gets comments. Just the other day, she got a comment. And I think maybe we mentioned this, or we have before when you were with Robin. And yeah, they mentioned you being. Oh, when you were a dentist visit, and the dentist said, Robin was helping you, and she said, "Oh, that's nice. So you're helping your sister." Yeah. Robin doesn't like when that happens,
Yeah.
but it's pretty freaking funny. I love hearing stories like that.
It's a little silly, too.
It is.
Let's be fair.
Well, that's not true because you guys, seriously.
I do
Anyway.
not look like her sister.
Well, you do. It's not that she looks old. She just acts mature.
She
just
does.
acts older.
She does.
She just does. Anyway, Even though half of her head is shaved. And anyway. Also, we'd like to give out, those of you who've been listening and subscribing and all that, we'd like to give you a special shout out too. So I would like to mention these wonderful people who have been listening to us on YouTube, also on SoundCloud and the other places. Paulette Mitchell, Colby C. Frank 58, and Jacqueline Nelson. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah, you have no idea how much we do appreciate it.
Does. It really, we do really appreciate that. And tell your friends, share, comment, interact with us some more. Hey, we've got some special news coming up. Hey, probably by the end of this coming week, we're going to have some sweatshirts with our logos and stuff.
Yep, they're being made.
We might be doing a giveaway. It depends. We might have to set a subscriber goal, and with your help, maybe we might have some kind of thing going on.
We could even have a little contest, maybe. Yeah. Best drink, best new
something
recipe,
like
something like that.
Or if you bring in some subscribers to us, maybe we'll have a special little thing for you guys, and then we'll have a drawing for all the subscribers. I don't know. We're going to come up with something, but I'll just tell you, we've got some cool things coming up. But if you want to be a part of it, interact with us,
if you do subscribe or you do get people to subscribe, please have them say that when they subscribe,
please
so that we can keep track of that.
Yeah, let them. Yeah, please say, hey, I was referred to by blah blah,
by so and so email or whatever, so that we can.
That would be great.
Yeah.
All right, so I know that was a huge shout out, but see, hey, when things start cooking around here at Moonshine Safari Studios, which that's where we're broadcasting from today, in our wonderful little studios here in Arizona.
And the weather is amazing.
It didn't get above 70 today, guys. It was gorgeous. It's unbelievable. So
I don't know where everybody is, but I was even laughing with Robin a little while ago. There was a meme that somebody had posted saying the way Arizonans look when the weather gets to be 67. The person's wearing a parka, the whole thing, because that's how we are. But it's awesome. We love the weather right now.
We'll describe what I look like in the morning when I get up in the morning at 5:30, and our house is 73 or 4 degrees.
Like he lives in the Antarctic.
Yeah, but I've been here for a long time. I've been here for over 30 years.
Yeah, you can be pretty much a native. We talked about that earlier today.
All right, well, that's our segment 1 of the show, and it was a long one. Thank you for hanging on. Hey, coming right up, what have we been listening to? We're going to talk about music. Coming up.
What's Josh listening to?
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari, everybody. That's Dinah.
And that's Josh.
Hey, give me 5, baby.
It.
You
Woo-hoo.
got it, chica. All right. Hey, this is a segment of the show that we like to talk about music and what we've been listening to. And you guys, if you've been following us, man, we've had some exciting things. And we've got some exciting things coming up. Something like Josh
has been on a roll.
Josh has got some, we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, well, Josh is on a roll because Josh has been in some awesome concerts, if that's what you're leading up to. Josh has been able to see some of the bands and the music that he has loved all his life within the last year. And he's going to get to continue that come January. Because guess who Josh is going to get to go see, God willing? We have the tickets, God willing that they make it, and God willing that we be able to go. We're going to get to go see Blackberry Smoke in January. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, if you guys know, well, that's what I've been listening to. Because I just happened to be on Facebook one day, and I follow Blackberry Smoke. As you guys know, we've talked about them. We've featured them. I told you I love them, and if you're not listening to Blackberry Smoke, you should. Shame on you if you don't. Anyway, so I was looking through my Facebook feed, and this meme popped up where they mentioned another part 2 of their American tour. Now, right now, they're in Europe, and they've been in Germany and Switzerland, all these places.
Everywhere, yeah.
They're playing with Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, how amazing would that concert be?
Oh my gosh. That would be like that. Okay, and if Hank Williams Jr. were just to be like show up on that day too.
Hanging out.
Yeah, that would be like the trifecta. Anyway, so I've been listening to Blackberry Smoke since. Well, anyway, so I saw this and I go, oh my gosh, and I forgot. You guys hadn't gone to work yet, right? And I came running into the bedroom.
Actually, I think we were home.
Yeah, something.
Because what happened was we had found out the day before, and we were trying to keep it a secret. And Robin and I were talking about how likely Josh was to actually see that they were coming in concert. Because I thought, I'll just get the tickets and I won't tell him.
Right. But I did, and I ran in there, and I was like, oh my gosh. Well, first I saw them in Tucson, right? I saw them coming in Tucson. Right. That's the first day, and I was like, oh my god. Okay, and if
we might have had to go. If that was the only place in Arizona they were going to be, we might have to go.
I can't tell you how much I hate Tucson.
Yeah. No offense,
No
Tucson
offense to people who love Tucson, but it's just not for me.
It's just
not my thing.
Yeah.
It's not my vibe. It's not my thing. It's just not my deal. Okay. Robin went to school in U of A, and I think U of A is a wonderful college and that wonderful university. They do wonderful things. Tucson, not my kind of town. Just not my thing. Okay. And that's cool. If it's your thing, great, wonderful. Not my kind of thing. But I would have gone there if that was the only opportunity. And then I looked down. October 30th. Oh, they're going to be in Phoenix, Tempe. And I was like, woo!
January.
Oh, that's right, January. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. They're going to be here. So I ran in there into I was so excited to tell them and thinking I was going to be like breaking the news of the century. And Dinah looks at me like, yeah, I knew that.
Darn, he spoiled it.
I knew that already. And she's like, yeah, we kind of knew that.
I
we're kind of hoping you weren't going to see it.
I had my clock set to when tickets were going on sale. I was going to have to,
Yeah, so we got tickets, and oh man, I'm so excited. And I hope everything works out, God willing, and it would just be, I can't wait till the end of January anyway. So I have been listening to Blackberry Smoke, and I've also, well, okay, before we get into something else I've been working on, let's talk to Dina. Dina, what have you been listening to this week?
Well, actually the past week or so, I've been just a little under the weather, so I haven't been doing as much as I should by any stretch of the imagination. One of my things has been certain songs I've been listening to because I'm supposed to be learning them from my voice teacher. So I've gone old school a little bit. I Will Survive, Gloria Gaynor, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Marvin Gaye, also Diana Ross. I mean, a lot of people covered that song, but mostly songs like that, just listening to some of the ones I'm supposed to be learning so that I can get them ready.
Right. And once she gets them ready and once she feels comfortable with them, I'm guessing she would like to share with our community, Moonshine Safari community, and we'll post those out there.
I'm close on I Will Survive, the Gloria Gaynor one. I'm close.
Right. Okay.
So, anyway.
Anything else?
That's about it. Like every time that I've turned on music, it's been to try to learn some stuff. So, that's pretty much it for now. I told you, you're the adventurous one or whatever. Usually when I find new groups, it's because you find them first.
Well, I can't even say it's just for me. So a lot of times it's just, it's going through YouTube or suggestions in YouTube and some other things. But another thing I like to talk about music because, as we've expressed in the past, music is a super huge important part of our lives, and that's something that's brought us together and keeps us together and close, and it's something our family. And something I've been working on this week, and this is what I alluded to in our first segment of the show in the shout-outs, when I gave a shout-out to my father, is that I've been working on a song, and it's been a very hard song, and it's basically taken me about 13 years to write, if you really want to look at it from that perspective. Those of you who have had parents who have gone and meant something, and maybe you write or poems or something, that is like one of the hardest things that you can do is write songs. Now, I've written songs about Dina and I and our relationship and stuff, and that's sometimes it's difficult to do that, but she's right here in front of me, for now, thank God. And but my father isn't. So, and you're not sure how can one song encapsulate everything that you want to say or feel, and it can't. But this is the song I've been working on. So right now, the song I've worked on, this encapsulates at least this little time this little period of time or whatever it is that I was feeling. So I've been working on a song, and it's called "This Whiskey's for You," and we're gonna post that. It's a very raw. Okay, all I did was
It came out great.
All I did was grab my Martin Triple Aught 15 SM, which is named Dinah. You guys have heard about that. She's a beautiful mahogany guitar. I could talk about her for hours. She's just amazing. Anyway, just like my wife. That's why she's named Dinah. Uh-huh. And I just grabbed her and turned the mic on and started playing. And to be fair, I'd like to tell you about the song if you'd like to know. Dinah and I both wrote the song. I wrote the first 2 verses and the chorus and the bridge. And it
started the 3rd verse.
It
you
needed
finished it.
No, that's not true. It needed something. It needed a 3rd verse. And what was amazing about this, and this is those of you who have that relationship with someone in your life that you know when you're on the same kind of wavelength, is I remember I was sitting in here trying to figure it out, trying to deal with it. And it's a hard song to write, super hard song to sing. And I know where my mind was going. And so, but then I was just like, okay, I don't know if I can go there. So then I yelled. I was actually sitting in the studio and Dinah was in the bedroom, and I yelled out through the house and I go, I need a 3rd verse. Right?
Yes, you did.
I did. And I said, I need a 3rd verse for this. And I don't know what, kind of thing. And I don't know, how fast did you have it? It was like, then it came across, and as soon as I saw it, I got chills and I started crying. And the reason I did, I'm almost ready to cry now, but is because she went the exact place I was thinking. Now, guys, I'm just telling you, when you have somebody in your life like that goes exactly where you're thinking. So the 3rd verse, I couldn't have written it. I just made a couple little changes, just tiny little words. That's all. The gist of it is her, because she was feeling where I was coming from. So if you want to check out that song, and look, I've never ever claimed to have a good voice. I don't. But
it came out.
But listen,
really
just
good.
listen to the
Came out
words.
awesome.
This is just my tribute to my dad. Well, mine and
he would be
Dina's
thrilled.
Mine and Dina's tribute, because she helped me write this song. So
It reminds me a little bit
Check
about
it
the
out.
album you guys made for him that time.
yeah, check it out. It's I think it's pretty cool. It's one of the best songs I've ever written, and that's just because. And I obviously I'm biased. It's my song, and it's my father. So if you like it, listen to it. Give it a like. I'd appreciate that very much. Anyway, so that's what we've been doing for music. And man, I know the show's going long, isn't it? I know. But guess what? We're coming back, and I am going to tickle your funny bone.
Woo.
Coming right up. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Moonshine Safari, everybody. Are you ready to be tickled?
Tickle us.
Hey, so this man was getting into a shower just as his wife is finishing up her shower, and the doorbell rings. The wife quickly wraps herself in a towel and runs downstairs, and when she opens the door, there stands Bob, the next door neighbor. Before she says a word, Bob says, "Hey, I'll give you $800 to drop that towel." After thinking for a moment, the woman drops her towel and stands naked in front of Bob. After a few seconds, Bob hands her $800 and leaves. The woman wraps back up in the towel and goes back upstairs. When she gets to the bathroom, her husband asks, "Who was that?" "It was Bob, the next door neighbor," she replies. "Great," the husband says. "Did he say anything about the $800 he owes me?"
Wow.
Moral of the story: if you share critical information pertaining to credit and risk with your shareholders in time, you may be in a position to prevent avoidable exposure.
Ha ha. Nice.
It's time for Pave of the Week.
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari, everybody. I'm Josh.
I'm Dinah.
Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate that. Hey, if we didn't mention before, check out all of our social media places all over the place. You know, just look up Moonshine Safari or hit one of them at moonshinesafari.com.
You'll find
You go to
us.
the website, and then you can hit all of them. SoundCloud, Facebook, blah, blah, blah,
Twitter,
blah, 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 blah.
Instagram.
Yeah, all of the things.
All the things.
All the things. Go hit all those, and so you can keep up to date on what we're going crazy about and what we're doing. Hey, it's time for Peeve of the Week. Guess who has Peeve of the Week this week? You don't even know.
Shocking.
It's me, of course. Cantankerous Josh. That's me. Peeve of the Week. Guess what my Peeve of the Week is? I don't know. This just popped into my brain. Roundabouts. Holy crap! Who thought this was a good idea here in the Valley? I don't know. Did we think that we're supposed to be part of Europe now? I don't know. We can't even do four-way stops right, and now you're going to confuse us by putting circles where everybody just, I don't know, go whenever the hell you want to go. Because that's exactly what happens. I mean, those of us who yield, we'll just sit there all damn day because those fuckers just keep going. All right? That's what happens. I mean, I don't get it. But, yeah. So, four-way stops, here in Arizona, no one knows how to do a four-way stop. You ever get to a light here in Arizona when it's not working? Nobody knows what to do.
Somebody should videotape one of these.
Oh, my goodness. No, wait. Okay, and I'm from the South originally, but I've been here for over 30 years. But in the South, no one knows. Well, people know what to do, but they're too polite to actually do it. They're too busy going, hey, you can go. And they're like, no, you can go. And they're like, no, well, you go ahead and go. They're like, no, please, go ahead. Please go. And here it's like you take your life in your hands. It's like a mosh pit in the middle of a freaking intersection because somebody starts to turn left and somebody starts to go straight and the other person is turning left and then only knows what's going on. But then now Arizona thinks that in the new areas, let's put roundabouts in.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even like roundabouts in parking lots. They're not as bad, but roundabouts in, seriously. I mean, you got people who don't read. They're too busy looking at their phones. We talked about that. Too busy looking at their phones. Do you think they're paying attention to what a roundabout does? No, they just like jump in and just go. And it's like, seriously, please, let's not be Europe. Europe's getting ready to fall anyway. Let's not worry. Let's not be them. Okay? Four-way stops and learn how to do it.
Get out your notepads. It's time for Pro Tip of the Week.
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari, everybody. I'm Josh.
I'm Dinah.
Hey, guess what time it is, Dinah?
I don't know, 8.
Almost 9, but it's
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's time. No, it's almost 7. It's time for Pro Tip of the Week.
Wow.
And you got this.
I do. So the biggest thing that I can think of right now, and like I said, I pretty much usually draw these pro tips from something that's happening in my office. I noticed that a lot of people, when they buy investment properties, they like to put them in LLCs, and there's reasons for that. There's protections that can be afforded to people for that purpose. But the biggest thing is you need to know is when the refi is done, or when any kind of a mortgage is done on it, it has to be closed in your personal name. There are commercial loans out there, but when you're talking about regular mortgages, regular residential mortgages, you are looking at having to close that in your personal name. So, for instance, if you bought a year ago, actually, and this is exactly my situation right now. I have a borrower who, I don't think it was actually quite a year ago. I think it was about 6 months ago that they purchased a condo for cash, actually hard money. And so what they're doing right now is they are going to be paying that off with a standard mortgage, because their intention in the beginning was to flip it, but it doesn't seem to be flipping as quickly as that they had hoped. So now they're just going to refinance it, put it into a mortgage, and keep it for a while. In order to do that, I have to take the property out of the name of the LLC that they put it in when they purchased it. I have to put it back in their personal names. We have to close it that way. And then later on, if they want to redeed it, they can. But you just need to know that that could be part of the process, and just to be careful on how it's done. Get advice from whoever gives you legal advice if that's needed, or if you're doing a mortgage, talk to your mortgage person, the title people, those kind of people, to find out exactly how to do this correctly so that it doesn't cause a problem with your mortgage. So that's my big thing right now.
Awesome. That's a lot of big things. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hope you guys really listen to these things each time. I know I keep repeating this often. Is these pro tips? This is for your benefit. You know, it's kind of like,
the biggest thing is it's real life stuff.
right. Exactly. It's stuff that you can do. It's stuff that you know that will hopefully help you. And if you ever have any questions about that stuff, you know what? Just hit us up on the email or the Twitter or any of that stuff, and then we'll get to you. Put a hashtag, whatever your concern is. Whether you know if you want to do pro tip, do hashtag pro tip. That way we can look at it and go, oh, it's related to what we talked about on this episode or whatever. Okay, that would be great. All right, anything else you got for us today, Dinah, for pro tip?
I'm good on that.
All right, hey, thank you for listening. Coming up in the next segment, we're going to talk about our personal Moonshine Safari story.
Our long Moonshine Safari story.
Yeah, but I think this one's going to be short today. We'll see.
Shh. Quiet and listen. It's time for Marriage Story of the Week.
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari. You've reached the segment of the Moonshine Safari story of Josh and Dinah. I'm Josh.
I'm Dinah.
Hey, guess what? Where we left off last week, we were talking about the whole surrogacy thing and how we got sued. And if you want to know about all of that,
Go back and listen.
go back and listen to the previous episodes. But kicking off now, just talk about the birth.
So,
Unless you have something else you want to lead in, up to do.
No.
Okay.
So I have, and I learned this especially once my son was born as well. My pregnancies tend to go fairly well. I tend to feel pretty good most of the time. I don't get sick a lot. I shouldn't be talking about them in the present tense because they're done. But I handled them well as far as that part of it goes. But my labor and deliveries typically suck. In fact, my doctor, who delivered all 3 of my deliveries, he told me that very same exact thing. So,
but let's not talk about Del Toro yet. That's a
no.
whole different story.
But
okay.
while I was, we're getting towards the end, we got the court paperwork done, thank goodness. And so now it's just a matter of waiting for my nephew. And actually, it was the smoothest labor I had. And it was funny because I actually told the doctor, I go, well, maybe it's going to be okay now because look, this one went really well. And he goes, oh, nice try. You can't count this one because he was implanted. It's not a naturally occurring birth. So I didn't get to count that one. But
we are counting it. It was, yeah.
I woke up one morning and it was obvious that I was kind of starting the labor process. So my sister walked me around the mall, everything to keep me moving, to try to keep the process moving.
Was that the one you had hot dog? Chili dog?
I did have a chili dog.
Oh, okay. I thought he was the one that you had the chili dog
I
with.
did
okay.
have a chili dog.
Yeah.
I think by about 9:30 that night is when we went to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe he was born around 3:30 in the morning.
Yes.
And I got to go home a few hours later.
Yes, you did. We both did. We both
yes,
yes.
Thank goodness. My doctor wasn't too sure. He's like, normally I don't let you go home that fast. I go, yeah, but look I'm not taking care of a baby.
Right.
And he goes, all right.
Yep.
So he let me go home.
It's not like you were nursing
I was not. I could just go
him.
home and go to bed.
Right. Mom and Dad got to stay at the hospital and be with him.
Exactly. Which is as it should have been.
And he was healthy.
Yes, and he was. Everybody
great.
was fine.
There was only one of him, not 6.
No, yeah, we got one.
We got
one giant one.
Right. He's a big boy.
Kid.
He is.
He's a big husky
like
kid.
6'5".
Yeah.
He was in the mid. Well, probably I'd say he's probably about 230 right now.
Flaming red hair.
Just funny. Yeah, he's a good kid.
A really good kid. And like I said, I can't imagine him not being here. It was shortly after that we got some of the follow-up news stories and stuff like that to find out how the birth had gone and what we had been able to accomplish with the legal proceedings. And went on the Lisa show as well. So that was all kind of wrapped up in those first few months. But like I said, everybody was good. Nobody fought over him as far as that goes. On paper, people fought, but not really behind the scenes.
Exactly. Like when we talked about getting sued, well, like you said, hey, go back and listen to that. You know what? I'm proud that he was here for the 9 months that he was, and I'm glad that we were part to be able to be a part of bringing him into the world. And there's a special relationship we have with him, and he knows it, and it's cool, and our kids know it, and they did like any cousins because they all grew up together. They fought, and they were like brothers and sisters because more unlike
age-wise,
cousins
they were
because they were very close,
like 3 steps, really.
Exactly. So, but it's been great, and watching them grow up and become adults and everything else. So, yeah, so that's kind of where that was, and you got to go home, and that was pretty much that.
And and then
Right.
like I said, and then 6 months later, that's when we decided to move on with our family.
Right. And you know what? We'll talk about moving on next time.
That works.
We're going to cut this one short because we've gone long with some other things. I think we ended up that surrogacy thing pretty cool. I'll just tell you how I feel just because I love this woman. I think she's one of the most giving women I've ever met in my entire life. And to do that,
whatever.
Oh, I know, but to do that, pretty freaking amazing. It just is. It's amazing. People should be very grateful for what you do.
I think, to me, what it reminds me of is, and I've always thought this, I heard somebody say this once a long time ago, and it makes so much sense to me. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. When you start getting into people's lives, and you start to hear all the things, and you go, wow, how did that work? Wow. And I think that that's true for everybody. We're telling our story, but we know that everybody else has stories too. So this is just part of ours.
And I bet a lot of you who are listening out there probably have parts of your life that can relate and you can relate to us, and there are probably parts that you can't relate, and just like we wouldn't be able to relate to you either. And that's kind of cool how we humans do. But if we're rational and reasonable human beings, even though we may have different upbringings and different thoughts about things, we can have different ideas and thoughts without hating each other and disliking each other and fighting and warring and killing and doing all the things that humans tend to do.
Yeah, I'm serious. What happened to just being able to sit down and have a conversation about something that you may not agree on, but you don't have to fight on?
Yeah, you don't have to break up a relationship over it just because you disagree. But somehow it's either all or nothing anymore, and that's really sad. And unfortunately, anyway, I didn't mean to get on a soapbox because that's not the point of this. But what I mean to say that I think Dinah gave so much of herself. I mean, she put her. The way I look at it, I mean, she did. Birth is not just a thing that's easy. It is a natural thing, but it can do horrible things to your body. It could kill you, and that's the thing that I was scared about, or not being able to have kids in the future. And thank God that none of that happened, and we were very fortunate. And we have a handsome nephew that we get to see and talk to and interact with because of it, and it's great. So coming up next week, God willing, we'll talk about Del Toro.
Awesome.
All right, coming up, our Moonshine Safari, somewhere local, somewhere that has moonshine, somewhere that is delicious. We'll talk about it in a second.
Get out your glasses. It's time for the Moonshine Safari drinks and recipes.
Welcome back to Moonshine Safari, everybody. I'm Josh.
I'm Dinah.
Hey, if you were just listening to that last segment and you heard a weird noise, make a comment on what you think it was.
No.
In the bottom. Because I'm not sure if you caught that. But
There's
if you did,
mechanical noises that have nothing to do with anybody's bodily functions.
put that in the comments below. Because it was amazing. Anyway, Moonshine Safari segment. What do we have? Well, I have something I alluded to last week. This is a local distillery in the Phoenix area, in Tempe actually. Adventurous Stills. I'm talking about Peralta Moonshine. Oh, let me just tell you.
He's digging it.
Yeah, it's 110 proof, cask strength.
Wow.
Whiskey. And you can go to this Adventurous Stills here, and you can actually sign up and make your own freaking moonshine and have it bottled. I mean, it costs a lot, but it'll be worth it. I'll just tell you, this stuff, this was batch number 3, bottle number 6. Okay. Remember the other day? Did you hear that? This is what I had the other day. I'm going to take a little swig.
That was the real
I'm
thing,
going to take
guys.
a snort. Oh. That is some delicious freaking moonshine. It is so smooth. And it's got a... Well... It's kind of an oaky taste. It's not fruity. Like I think Midnight Moon is a lot. Like in the front. Like right off the tip of your tongue, you taste that. But it's got a nice, smooth burn to it, which I enjoy. And a nice kick, because, you know, it is 110 proof. So it's got a little punch to it.
I would imagine.
Peralta Moonshine. And we got this. Where did we get this? We got this at Sun Devil Liquors.
Sun Devil Liquors.
Yes, we did. Sun Devil Liquors. Hey, we also know that they also have other whiskeys. We haven't tried that yet. They have whiskeys. I think they have a tequila. Not sure. But I saw their moonshine. I'm like, oh, we got to get it. And
I think I actually saw a bourbon. There.
That's right. They do have a bourbon.
Yeah.
We're going to have to try that because I like bourbon. But this moonshine, let me just tell you, you got to try it. Peralta Moonshine. Adventurous Stills Distillery in Tempe. Okay. Yum. Check out their website too. It'll be cool. All right. I think that's a show.
I think that's it.
Hey guys, thank you so much for your
Thanks
time
again, everyone.
and listening and all that fun stuff. Hey, check out our website. Check out our songs. I'm going to be posting a link, or Del Toro post a link to the song I wrote about my dad. Tell me what you think about that, if you don't mind. And then, yeah, hope you guys have a great week. And I'm trying to think if we missed anything. Somehow something's nagging on me like we missed something.
I can't think of anything.
I can't think of anything either. Well, if I'm missing it, I missed it. If not, hey guys, we'll see you next time
See you
here
later,
from
guys.
Moonshine Safari Studios. Shine happens.
Hey y'all, welcome to Moonshine Safari. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, as well as check the description for information on our social media sites, as well as our Patreon account to help support our adventures in the Moonshine Wilderness.